Welcome, I am your host, Sean, with Merclan Gaming for this Star Citizen Quick News episode. A couple days ago, the Star Citizen 3.19 patch came to the live servers, and oh, is it a good one. Gone are the days of the non-playable 3.18 patch, and hello to some fresh new gameplay loops. Today we are going to talk about two new unannounced ships, a load of major updates, changes to mining, updates to AI, and lastly bug fixes and expectations. Let's jump in. First off, when looking through the Invictus event ship sale, we found this cute little snub fighter. This ship is called the Mirai Fury. There are two versions you can buy, the regular Fury and the MX variant, which switches its guns for missiles. This ship has a lot of firepower for a ship that has no quantum drive, and the flying characteristics are similar to that of other snub fighters, which means it is fast and agile. This ship was made to get in close, get some damage in, and then escape fast before the enemy even knows what happened. If you have a bigger ship to haul this in, it is worth considering at around 50 USD. Another new vehicle that has been added to the verse is the RSI Lynx. This vehicle was originally and always meant to be paired with the luxury exploration ship, the RSI Phoenix. This six-wheeled vehicle has much of the look of the Ursa rover, however it has the luxury inside similar to the Phoenix. So if you want to drive around in style, this is a decent purchase at 60 USD. CIG wanted to recreate its skyline to be bigger and more reflective to its distinct buildings. This means also adding better signs for ships to know where the landing zones are, but also to show the difference in the high-end and poor areas of the city from the sky view. There are also new trams to explore that take you to 3 different perimeter gates. Next up is the new player experience. Ever wonder why Star Citizen was so hard to play when you first started? For us, it was the lack of the beginner tutorial. CIG has finally added this into the game for new players. When you play the game for the first time, the game will ask you if you want to load into the tutorial or skip it entirely. Next up is the new salvage contracts. There are new salvage missions where you are tasked with scrapping a ship, either in space or on the ground at a junkyard that is in possession of the mission giver. The objective is to do your best to scrap the ship and then sell the scrap to a salvage shop. To add more variation, CIG has created 3 versions of these missions. Lawful, where the ship is secured by an organization who has friendly orbital sentries and they ask you to do the job. Lawless, where the mission giver's organization has not secured the ship, thus making it likely to be attacked by pirates after 30 minutes of being on site. And unlawful, where the mission giver asks you to scrap a ship from a recent battle where no civilians are allowed to access according to the UEE Navy. This area has hostile orbital sentries and other enemies you have to destroy. This mission requires you to have the Drake Vulture or the Reclaimer salvage vehicles. However, you can bring any cargo ship with you because of yet another sneaky gameplay mechanic added to these missions. In many of the ships you scrap that can hold cargo, there are cargo boxes aboard the ship that you can steal. Selling these boxes has a chance to be very lucrative depending on the box's content, which are randomly generated. Be ready for creepers though, as many players have reported seeing criminal players sitting at salvage selling points ready to kill you and pirate the loot. Another new mission is the Ghost Hollow Reclaimer PvP mission. When you go to the Ghost Hollow crash site on Microtech, you can engage in forced PvP encounters. By using a comm array and what CIG are calling AI nav mesh, players will have to control certain terminals that have a certain amount of AUEC available to withdraw. Everyone has access to the terminals, which is how CIG is hoping they will create a PvP combat experience. The tractor beam attachment got an update as you can now grab weapons and missiles off of ships and reattach them onto other ships as well as your own. You can also take those weapons and sell them for profit. This creates more incentive for salvage missions, exploring, and pirating. A huge update to 3.19 is mining gameplay. CIG has moved where minables are. You can no longer go to Lyria and just find Quantanium everywhere. Certain resources have been pushed more to certain moons and planets, and are more likely to spawn in those dedicated areas, like iron on Ariel for example. They have also created mineable rarities, standard, uncommon, and rare. Rare being, for example, the rock to have Quantanium in it, or Bexlite, which is also very expensive mineable. Changes have been added to mining prices and refining types as well. A big change you will immediately see is a new mining screen. They've moved the power, distance to target, and instability measurements. You will also see that rock mass sizes have changed, and they can get quite large now, which really hits home for the balancing for the Oreo mole. This also makes it very important to know which mining heads you are using and other attachments, as those will become so much more important. There has been a balance to AI FPS combat. CIG wants to make the AI enemies feel more realistic by making their accuracy and behavior better. Accuracy is based on their sight to you, their loadouts, and certain, what they call, mercy times before firing, which means they will wait and assess how much of a threat you are based on distance and other factors. Let's face it, the 3.18 update was rough, and CIG are still working on their server problems and the endless amounts of bugs that are still causing issues for most players. While CIG are fixing a lot of bugs, most of our gameplay had its fair shake of 30Ks, servers that had broken trams, and servers that prevented you from getting your ships. Most servers that we encountered are just slow, so don't go into this update expecting everything to be fixed. It's definitely not. However, with these huge updates that we got, it is very promising, and there are still plenty of new gameplay loops to explore. If you want more information, feel free to click the link in the description. Be sure to leave a like and a comment, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. With that being said, I have been Sean with Merkland Gaming, and this has been your Star Citizen Quick News.